Hey guys, again, welcome back to the channel. It's not really another video because there hasn't been a video in ages, but we have the Premier League game week whatever predictions.
It's been a long time.
It has been. We have all 12 games. The first 4 I have predictions for, but they're not technically part of the game week, so that's why this is going out at this time before the Friday fixtures, but we're going to give predictions for tonight's games anyway. Before we get into it, make sure you subscribe to our channel. With the games coming thick and fast, we're going to try and get them out as frequently as we can, and then we've got next season to think about as well. Also subscribe to my mate Ryan, RC Coaching. There'll be a link in the description. He does one-to-one coaching sessions, so if you want to check his channel out and check out his video, he explains everything. So yeah, go and subscribe to him. But into this video, as you can see on the screen, we have 12 fixtures across this Wednesday to Monday. A lot of games, every game televised, which is fantastic. So the first game is Aston Villa versus Sheffield United. It's a relegation team versus a team chasing Champions League football. Wouldn't believe that when last season they were both in the Championship. Villa in the Premier League have lost their last 4 games and they're 3 points from safety. Philip's probably buzzing that Villa are in relegation scrap.
Fucking... I felt like I could cry. Tears
But
of joy.
the thing with Villa is they've got Grealish and they've got the return of Big John McGinn. Or McGinn, whatever you say his name.
Who definitely deserves a move to a bigger club.
Yes, he does. 2 big players for Villa. Sheffield United are fighting for Europe. They're not going to want to let it slip. They've got 3 away games in 8 days, I think. I do think it's going to be a tough game though, and I'm going with a 1-1 draw.
I can see where you're coming from. I mean, it's kind of a new season feeling.
Yeah.
You don't know how teams have been affected. I know it sounds all very cliche. But you really don't. You don't know what's been going on or how much effort players has been putting in on video call training sessions and the very limited amount of training sessions they've had since they've been allowed to go back. Who knows what they've been doing? Who knows how hard they've had to work, or if they actually want to put in effort because they might feel a bit lazy. But yeah, I'm still going to go off of the basis of the good season. My nan's fucking walking in the garden now. So what the fuck is she doing? She's staring at me now. I'm going to go off of the basis that Sheffield United are having a far better season than what Aston Villa are. Factors come into hand, obviously being the first game of the season-ish. Well, it's been, what, 3 fucking months. But yeah, I'm going 2-0 Sheffield United.
Yes,
David McGoldrick to score his first goal.
Yeah, he's not out of the house during this coronavirus. He's been out all the time, but he's kept his 2-metre distancing.
Yeah,
good man.
Yeah, he's been there in my pond.
Now the first big tasty game of the resumed season, Man City versus Arsenal. It's the teacher versus the student. Sounds like a porno now. It's Pep versus Arteta. The last game for City in the Premier League was a loss to Man United in the Manchester derby, which of course, if this was coming off the bat of a loss to Man United, you think, oh, Arsenal might have a chance. But
no.
City have probably forgotten about that. They've got Leroy Sané back, who could be in his last strings for the club.
Changer.
As Philip said, it feels like a new season, but it's the same old Arsenal. I do think Arteta will make it tough for Pep, seeing as he knows probably exactly how he's going to line up. Man City do have the class to shine through, but before the break, Arsenal looked like they was improving under Arteta. So I'm gonna go with the City win, but a very slim 1-0 City win. Arsenal could fight in this game because knowing that Arteta knows Pep's way and that 5th could be open with City's European ban. Arsenal could push for 5th maybe. I don't see them getting 5th, but they could push for 5th, making it tough. But yeah, still going with a 1-0 City because fuck Arsenal.
The City don't really have much to play for. They're better than everyone else bar one team, and that team obviously is Liverpool. So they've really got nothing to play for. So they're going to think to themselves, fuck it, we'll just win as many games as we can, and they'll fucking whitewash them 3-1. Sorry, Arsenal fans. Don't really have much to say on the situation. Obviously, our predictions are a lot of fun. Are fun to us.
Yeah, and that guy that said we have shit predictions.
Other than that cunt.
You see our...
Yeah.
The things below our name, or aside our names, is for the whole season. My percentages look worse because I've done a lot more predictions than Philip. But I'd still take Philip's ones because he normally gets the dodgy ones right. Now, moving on to Norwich versus Southampton. Norwich are fighting for their life in order to pull off for Sunderland. They're 7 points away from safety. Before the break, they got 1 win in 6. Southampton have sort of steered clear, but I think a loss here could drag them into something they don't want to be in. Southampton are a good side though. I think Danny Ings can possibly save them here. But then Pukki, Cantwell and Buendia could cause problems for Southampton playing for Norwich. Buendia's a good little player. I think this is going to be a Desmond.
If I'm going off of what was going on before, Norwich, like Aaron said, were on a shit run of form, and Southampton were beginning to pick up, and obviously then manager Ralph Hasenhüttl picked up a new contract because of the turn in form that they had had. Danny Ings is becoming one of the best strikers outside of the top 6, proving why he was given a chance in the top 6 with Liverpool, which obviously never materialised as much as he wanted it to. But anyway, in terms of score prediction, I'm going to go with 2-1 to Southampton, because fuck Norwich.
Now, another big game, Tottenham versus Man United.
Pretty insignificant.
This is a tale of what ifs, I think. You know, you have a fully fit Spurs side, bar Dele Alli, who's got a ban. This has potential for Spurs to absolutely bring the sauce, you know. Ndombele, Sissoko, Gio, Bergwijn, Son, Kane. That just does naughty things to me. But then I think about Rashford, Bruno and Pogba and I shit myself. My heart says Spurs will win, but my head, I'm shit scared of what a fully fit Rashford, Pogba and Bruno Fernandes can do to us. I think Bruno Fernandes will absolutely pull the strings and get right in behind our defence. We won't have Tanganga, which is a big miss. Wouldn't expect that from earlier in the season, but yeah. Aurier, Davies. I mean, our formation could come into play from when we played against West Ham, but this is Man United. Fernandes has been on fire since he joined Man United, got player of the month. And Wan-Bissaka could possibly pocket Son. So my heart says a Spurs win, but my head says 2-1 United. So I'm going with 2-1 United.
It's very interesting for me to see what Tottenham and what Manchester United turn up, because under Mourinho, Tottenham have been very topsy-turvy.
Yeah.
They've looked good in parts and then looked bad in others. Under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Manchester United, they've been very similar, but before the suspension of the season, obviously, Manchester United picked up form, beating Manchester City and some other teams. It was so long ago, I can't remember. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Obviously, Pogba's back, Bruno Fernandes. It's going to be interesting to see how they integrate with each other into this midfield. And obviously, nice guy Marcus Rashford is leading the line again. So yeah, it's going to be a really interesting game. I'm not sure there's going to be a lot of goals. I think it's going to be a very possession-based game, a lot of keeping the ball in the middle of the pitch. And I'm going to say it's going to be 1-1.
I'll take
yes. Points shared.
We need a win though. Well, I'd just like to say we need a win. And also,
a win for any team on the first game back is going to be such a confidence boost.
More for us beating United, because it pulls us a point behind United in the race for Champions League, which is what I want. I don't want to be finishing 8th potentially and doing 2 rounds of qualifying just to get into the fucking Europa League.
And then, meanwhile, Sheffield United.
Yeah, could be bossing it around with bloody Neymar. Now, Watford versus Leicester. Watford literally have the win over Liverpool to brag about this season. Goal difference keeps them out of the relegation zone. But because they beat Liverpool, Leicester could struggle. Leicester, they like scoring away from home. You know, you think to Southampton, they clattered them 9-0. But Ismail Sarr could cause a problem for Leicester.
I like him.
He's a good little player. dismantled Liverpool, but you know, it's different games. I am going with the Leicester 2-1 win because Jamie Vardy, I think, will win the Golden Boot.
I think the exact same thing, 2-1.
Because we're absolute dominant.
Watford need to fight for their fucking lives. Unfortunately, there's a whole other topic of what's gone wrong at Watford to be put in the position that they're in, but they're struggling and they're fighting. And
they did start well under Pearson, though.
Yes, they have done, but at the same time, he can only be in charge for... Every Watford manager has always got a looming person, use Mickey Mouse as an example, on their shoulder, telling them that if they lose 2 games on the trot, then a backhand's coming, and they're out the door. So whether the pressure is mounting or not, yeah, I don't really know.
Now Brighton versus Arsenal. I don't think it's very fair on Arsenal. You know, you won't catch me saying that any time, but I don't think it's fair on Arsenal that they're playing 2 away games and they're playing before Man City. So that could benefit Brighton a lot, but Brighton haven't won in 2020. And Ozil against a weaker side could unlock Brighton's defence. He's been playing well under Arteta. So I'm going to go 3-0 Arsenal.
Fairly one-sided. I think it's going to be a very close game. I think Brighton obviously have a massive point to prove. They're very lucky to be in the situation, obviously not having won a game in 2022, not be in the relegation zone. They're in the scrap. Most definitely they're in a scrap, but there are a lot of worse teams in the league this year. I think it's going to be a very close game. It's going to go late, and I think it's just going to be 1-0 to Arsenal. Question about Arsenal is what's going to happen with Aubameyang.
Yeah, I think he's gone. If they don't get Europa League guaranteed, without the qualifying rounds, if they get 5th or 6th in this situation as a City, I think he'll stay for a season or leave in January next year. But other than that, I think he's gone, and I do think Arsenal will miss out on Europe in total this season. So,
and
gone.
Obviously, up before the season suspension, Lacazette was on a bad run of form. He was really struggling goal scoring and in front of goal. So will he come back and firing on all cylinders? And if Aubameyang does go, will he be in a suitable position to lead the line for them going forward?
Now West Ham versus Wolves, the battle of the Wubble U's. Like Watford, West Ham are being kept up by goal difference. West Ham are shit. It's at the London Stadium. Moyes is shit. Wolves are chasing Champions League. I think they'd rather go for it through the league, even though they're still in Europa League. I don't know whether that's being complete or not, but in Europa League they're in a strong position. They're playing Olympiacos, I think, in the next round, but I think they'd rather get Champions League through top 4, top 5, whatever it is. But West Ham is shit, so I'm going with 3-1 Wolverhampton.
I agree with you on the fact that West Ham is shit, and obviously Wolves are chasing Champions League football. But for that reason, it's just screams to me at a 2-2. Right. West Ham on the scrap, pull 2 goals and then just fall apart. Think, oh fuck, we're going to lose it, but then manage to hold on.
Now Bournemouth versus Crystal Palace. It's on BBC, so I think it speaks for itself that they've got the shittest game. So 0-0.
Yeah, it's not the game that everyone in their millions is going to tune into. I think the other broadcasters, whoever had the rights for this game, whether it be Sky or BT or Amazon even, have been a bit cheeky to the free air viewers and given them what is really truly an absolute classic of a game between 2 great clubs. I'm going 1-1. It doesn't seem like a very high scoring affair. Whether the Bournemouth front 3 will return
David Brooks is back
into their goal scoring form of before. And Bournemouth are in a very weird scenario where they unfortunately find themselves in a relegation battle. everyone's second favourite team in the Premier League. So, yeah, they need to pick up points when they can. Palace aren't really fighting for anything. They're not.
They never are. They're just fighting to keep Roy Hodgson alive.
Roy. Don't disrespect my boy.
So now we have the Battle of the Stripes. It's Newcastle versus Sheffield United. Steve Bruce. He's done a good job at Newcastle. Nobody expected it. He's done a good job.
He's got a Mickey Mouse on his back.
They have the controversy surrounding the ownership of the club, and I think that's going to fall onto the players because you think like players like fucking
Paul Dummett.
Paul Dummett, yeah. Good example. Paul Dummett, he's going to be like, no, I'm not going to be here if they bring in the Saudi owner who's going to go and sign Thiago Silva on a free. I'm not going to put any effort in. So everyone's going to be like that. And I think Sheffield United will just walk away. I say walk away, my prediction doesn't justify what I'm saying here. It'll be tough for Sheffield United because they have 3 away games in a row, so they'll 1-0 Sheffield United.
I'm going to go with a fairly convincing 2-0 win for Sheffield United. It's not like I have anything against Steve Bruce. He's
I do.
He's a fairly good manager, and Steve has proven that he can get the best out of what limited he's got. Obviously, he has got the Mickey Mouse on his back.
They have St. Maximin.
But yeah, it's going to be a fairly easy win for Sheffield United.
Now we have what I think could be a very tasty game: Aston Villa versus Chelsea. Villa just fighting for relegation, but we have Chelsea, who could be a serious threat to the league next season. You know, the potential of Ziyech, Werner and Pulisic, or Ziyech, Abraham, Werner.
Pulisic not really showing his potential at the moment.
Exactly. But
hopefully there's a diamond in the rough there.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
But they could, them 3, whatever 3 it is, with Kovacic, Kante, possibly Pjanic coming in with a swap with Jorginho, it could cause trouble for the league next season and Champions League next season. Now, Lampard's going to tell his men, fucking go all out. You all but guarantee have a Champions League spot. That's all you're fighting for, really. But Villa are fighting relegation. McGinn and Grealish again, they're going to cause some problems. So I'm going with a very tasty 3-2 Chelsea win.
I think it's going to be a very hot in the collar game, if that makes sense. It's going to be very tense. There's going to be a lot of near scoring opportunities for both teams, and Aston Villa especially are going to want to go at it and try and show that they have the potential to stay up. And would I say that there's pressure on Dean Smith back? Dean Smith's back. Possibly. He's a good manager at Championship level. Obviously what he done to get Villa into the Premier League in the first place is a tremendous achievement, but that's a different conversation. So I do think that Villa are going to want to impress. It's going to be a very tight game. Chelsea have been fairly inconsistent. They've had games where they've looked fucking amazing, and they've also had games where they've looked fucking shit.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with a narrow 2-1 win for Chelsea.
Now, the Merseyside derby. Liverpool win this, they beat Palace, they get a guard of honour from Man City. Liverpool have the league in their hands pretty much, they've just got to actually confirm it. You know, like when you say you're going somewhere and you've got to all but confirm it. That's exactly what Liverpool do, and they're driving to the Premier League.
Pretty much. They're currently at the KFC.
Yeah.
Drive through.
Everton are going to want to put a spanner in the works, so they're going to want to delay the celebration for Liverpool, and I think Everton know that City could probably do a number on Liverpool, so it'll make them wait a bit more. I do think Liverpool will drop points here. I think it's going to be 2-2, a good Desmond, and Everton are a dangerous team on their day. You know, Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin, Sigurdsson pulling the strings. Lucas Digne is a cracking
There's been a
fullback.
nice turnover. There's been a good turnover at Everton with
Ancelotti.
Ancelotti
can set up well.
They're building a fantastic side, given they put their money in places that actually make sense to put their money, and spend in positions where they actually need to spend money. And and sell in positions that they need to sell in.
Apart from Leighton Baines.
Yeah, Leighton Baines is just going to be there 2050. In terms of my score, I've gone with the exact same thing as Aaron. I've gone with a Desmond Tutu. I think Everton are going to be absolutely chopping at the bit to try and throw a spanner in the works of Liverpool's title hopes, and they will want it very, 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 very bad. Obviously Liverpool are going to know this, and they're going to try their hardest to outclass or, you know, show off to their many rivals in comparison to what is Liverpool are achieving, obviously winning the league. So I think all Manchester City fans will be a Everton supporter. Not that they're always plastic anyway, but yeah, I think it will be a 2-2. Up to Dominic Calvert-Lewin in my fantasy, my G.
Now, Man City Burnley. This game speaks for itself, really. Although Pope, on paper, is the best keeper in the league. Fantasy proves that. But
he is, yeah.
when you're playing against Man City and you're a team like Burnley, stats mean fuck all. So I'm going to go with a 4-0 City win, an Aguero hat-trick, and a Ben Mee own goal just to top it off.
Joe Hart's going to play, and he's going to have the performance he had against Barcelona in the Champions League, and it's going to be 0-0. No, it's not. It's going to be a fairly easy walk in the park for Manchester City, let's all be fair here. Yeah, 2-0 Manchester City. Fairly simple, easy win.
So yeah, there are predictions. You can leave your predictions in the comments or slate us off like I did. Huh?
Oh, I bit my tongue. Oh, I do want to chew about a minute. Oh.
Yeah, next week, I think if we do the video, it probably will. We will have Ashley join us. He was meant to join us for this one, but we can't. I won't be able to get his footage in time.
Don't have the facilities for that, big man.
Yeah. So Ashley will join us next week. Check out his channel as well if you really want to. I think he's doing a Man City Arsenal live reaction. So yeah, check that out. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. And the song in the outro, I think you should listen to because it's copyright free. Goodbye.
I've been on holiday, pay for the team with my DNA. I've been on getting the 92, predator making a one of you. I've been on coming through with a 2-2 and I'm fucking up with an 8. I've been on new tricks with the 2-6, I'm killing it with a game.